Welcome to the USA Coin Spot, your ultimate destination for all things related to American coinage. Whether you're an avid collector, a history enthusiast, or someone looking to invest in rare and valuable coins, this is the place for you. Explore the rich legacy of U.S. currency, from classic pieces like the Liberty Head and Morgan Dollar to modern commemorative coins. Stay informed with the latest updates on coin values, trends, and news in the numismatic world. Dive into our comprehensive resources and discover the fascinating stories behind the coins that have shaped the United States. Coin 1. In the world of numismatics, there are certain coins that stand out not just for their value, but for the stories they carry. Among these is the United States of America 1925 5-cent coin, also known as the Buffalo nickel, a piece of American history that has captivated collectors for generations. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of this particular coin, its background, design, production, and what makes it so special. Picture this: the year is 1925. The United States, having recently emerged from the trials of the First World War, was in the midst of a time of great social, economic, and cultural change. The Roaring Twenties were in full swing, with jazz music filling the air, flappers dancing in the streets, and the American economy on the rise. The country was alive with innovation, and one of the most significant changes was happening right under the noses of its citizens. The currency they were using. At the heart of this transformation was the Buffalo nickel, a coin that would come to symbolize the spirit of the times. The coin itself had been first minted in 1913, but by 1925, it was becoming a true icon of American coinage. The Buffalo nickel, as it was popularly known, replaced the earlier Liberty Head nickel, which had been in circulation since 1883. But why was a change necessary? Well, the Liberty Head design, though loved by many, was starting to feel a little outdated for the new and modern age. The U.S. Mint was looking for something that reflected the country's strength, its pioneering spirit, and its connection to the land. Enter James O. Fraser, the renowned American sculptor who was chosen to design the new nickel. Fraser was no stranger to creating works that symbolized America's identity. His design for the Buffalo nickel would prove to be one of his most enduring masterpieces. The obverse of the coin features the profile of a Native American man, his face proud and stoic, staring straight ahead. The man depicted was not any one person, but rather a composite of 3 different Native American chiefs that Fraser had encountered in his travels. This design was striking in its honesty and its departure from the more classical, idealized portraits that were common on coins at the time. It was a raw, human portrayal of the Native American, a reflection of the struggles and resilience of the indigenous people, who had been through so much since the European settlers had arrived on the continent. The reverse of the coin, however, is what captured the imagination of so many people. Fraser chose to depict an American bison, which was both majestic and symbolic. The bison was a creature deeply connected to the history of the American plains and the Native American tribes that lived there. Once numbering in the millions, the bison had been decimated by overhunting in the 19th century, and its image on the coin served as a poignant reminder of the nation's past, its exploitation of natural resources, and the relationship between humans and the land. What makes the 1925 Buffalo nickel even more special is the particular details found on the coin. If you closely examine the reverse, you'll notice that the bison's tail hangs over the edge of the coin, a detail that sets this design apart from other coins. This unique feature was actually the result of a design flaw, but one that only added to the charm and appeal of the coin. In the years to come, the 1925 nickel would become one of the most sought-after additions in the entire Buffalo nickel series, and its distinctive features only increased its allure. Minted at the Denver Mint, the 1925 5-cent coin carries with it the D Mint mark, a designation that tells collectors exactly where it was produced. But what makes the 1925 D so intriguing is the relatively low mintage numbers compared to other years in the Buffalo nickel series. While millions of coins were struck in other years, only 3 million Buffalo nickels were minted in 1925, and a much smaller number of those have survived over the years in excellent condition. This scarcity makes the coin incredibly attractive to collectors today, especially those looking to complete their sets of Buffalo nickels. Now, Let's talk about the value of the 1925 Buffalo nickel. The coin's value has fluctuated over the years, but it's safe to say that it has seen a steady rise, especially in recent decades. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its worth. A well-worn coin can still hold value, but one in near mint condition or with a particularly sharp strike can command much higher prices. The most coveted of these coins are those that have been preserved in uncirculated or higher grades, with their features still crisp and distinct. For a coin that was originally worth just 5 cents, the 1925 Buffalo nickel can now fetch anywhere from a few dollars to several $100s, depending on its condition. Coins that have been graded by professional organizations such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and are in pristine condition can be worth thousands of dollars. In fact, some of the most rare and well-preserved examples of the 1925 Buffalo nickel have been known to sell at auction for prices in the range of $10,000 or more. This value is driven not only by the coin's rarity, but also by the growing interest in Buffalo nickels as a whole. The Buffalo nickel series, which ran from 1913 to 1938, is one of the most popular among collectors. The combination of artistic design, historical significance, and the coin's relatively low mintage figures makes it a sought-after prize for numismatists of all kinds. Whether you're a casual collector or a seasoned expert, having a 1925 Buffalo nickel in your collection is a mark of prestige. But it's not just the value that makes this coin so special. The 1925 Buffalo nickel has a rich history that speaks to the heart of American culture. The Native American depicted on the obverse and the bison on the reverse serve as lasting symbols of the country's wild past, its indigenous people, and its journey toward modernity. The coin is more than just metal, it's a piece of history, a tangible connection to a moment in time when the country was on the brink of a new era. When you hold a 1925 Buffalo nickel in your hand, you're holding a piece of the past. You're touching the legacy of a country that, despite its flaws and struggles, has always moved forward with great optimism. And that's what makes this coin so captivating. It's not just valuable because of its metal content or its rarity, but because of the stories it tells. For collectors, finding a 1925 Buffalo nickel in good condition can be like discovering a hidden treasure. It's a journey through time, a reminder of how far the country has come, and a testament to the enduring power of design and craftsmanship. Whether you're an avid numismatist or simply someone with a love for history, the 1925 Buffalo nickel is a coin that tells a story worth telling. So, the next time you come across a Buffalo nickel, take a moment to appreciate its beauty, its history, and the remarkable journey it has taken through the years. And who knows? You might just be holding a piece of American history in your hand. Coin 2. In the world of American coinage, few coins hold as much fascination and charm as the 1934 5-cent piece, especially when it carries the distinguished D Mint mark from the Denver Mint. For numismatists and collectors alike, this particular coin represents not only a piece of currency but a snapshot of history, a relic that carries the weight of the Great Depression, a time when the United States was navigating through some of the most challenging years in its history. But there's more to this coin than just its historical backdrop. Its design, minting details, and eventual collector appeal have made it a lasting symbol of American numismatic culture. Let's rewind to the year 1934, a year that was still under the heavy shadow of the Great Depression. The U.S. economy was struggling to recover after the stock market crash of 1929, and the country was on the path to recovery, thanks to President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal programs. In this turbulent period, everyday Americans were looking for some sense of stability, and one place where this stability was evident was in the everyday currency they used. The 5-cent piece, or nickel, had been a staple of American coinage for decades. The nickel of the 1930s, though, was far more than just a mundane coin that exchanged hands with little thought. It was an emblem of perseverance, a small but consistent part of the nation's economy during uncertain times. By the time the 1934 5-cent piece was minted, the country had already endured years of hardship, but the silver lining was beginning to show. New policies and changes in the minting process helped bolster the production of coins, including the nickel. This coin, minted with the D Mint mark, was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the primary mints in the United States. It wasn't just another coin. It was a part of a larger effort to keep the American economy moving during a time when confidence was at a historic low. The 1934 5-cent piece is part of the long-running Buffalo nickel series, which had first been introduced in 1913. This iconic design, the work of sculptor James O. Fraser, was deeply symbolic of the American frontier. On the obverse, a profile of a Native American chief, drawn from 3 different Native American leaders, represented the indigenous peoples of the country. On the reverse, a majestic American bison, an animal central to the life of Native Americans and to the history of the country, stood proudly, symbolizing the natural beauty and wildness of the American plains. But by 1934, the world, and the United States, had changed drastically. The roar of the 1920s, the so-called Roaring Twenties, had given way to the silence of economic collapse, and the Great Depression was in full swing. Yet, the Buffalo nickel persisted. Its design remained largely unchanged until the coin was replaced by the Jefferson nickel in 1938. Still, during the 1930s, the Buffalo nickel's role was more than just functional. It was a reminder of a country's past, its struggles, and its enduring spirit. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1934 nickel. As mentioned, the obverse features the image of a Native American man, his face marked by strong, dignified lines, his hair tied back and his expression calm but resolute. Fraser's portrayal was not based on a single individual but was a composite of several Native American chiefs, bringing a sense of unity and representation for the diverse tribes of the American plains. This design was intentional, aiming to show the strength, pride, and endurance of a people who had faced incredible hardships. It was a tribute, a respect to the country's native populations, and yet, for many, it became a symbol of the nation's difficult history with its indigenous peoples. Flipping the coin over, the reverse side features the powerful image of the American bison, standing tall and proud. This image of the bison became a symbol of the American frontier, of a time when vast herds of bison roamed the plains, an embodiment of the untamed wilderness that settlers had encountered when they first arrived. By the 1930s, bison were a rare sight, having been decimated by overhunting in the 19th century. The bison on the reverse side of the coin, then, was both a nod to the country's frontier history and a reminder of the delicate balance between human progress and nature's resilience. The design of the 1934 5-cent piece remained remarkably consistent throughout the years, but there was something distinct about the 1934 minting. It was a part of the final years of the Buffalo nickel series, and each year of the series carried with it a sense of nostalgia and importance to collectors. As the coin was produced by the Denver Mint, it bore the D Mint mark, denoting its place of manufacture. The Denver Mint was known for producing high-quality coins, and this was no exception. While millions of these coins were produced, the 1934 D nickel is highly regarded due to its historical context, the artistry of its design, and its relatively low mintage numbers compared to other coins of the era. In fact, only about 9.3 million 1934 5-cent coins were minted with the Denver Mint mark, which is considered a relatively small mintage compared to other years in the series. Though this number may seem high in the context of the coin's production, it is important to remember that the survival rate of coins is always much lower than the mintage number, especially as time passes and coins are lost, damaged, or worn beyond recognition. This is where the appeal of the 1934 D nickel comes into play. The rarity of well-preserved specimens has made this particular coin one that numismatists seek out with great interest. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1934 D nickel. The value of a coin is often determined by several factors, the most important of which are its rarity, its condition, and its demand among collectors. A coin in good condition, with its details well preserved, can command higher prices. Coins that have been professionally graded, especially those that are considered to be in high grades, such as MS-65 or higher, can see their prices skyrocket, reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars. For the 1934 D Buffalo nickel, a coin that is worn or damaged might be worth a few dollars, perhaps around $5 to $10, depending on its condition. However, a well-preserved coin, with minimal wear and sharp details, can fetch much more. Coins that have been graded by professional grading services like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, in grades such as MS63 or MS64 can see their value increase significantly, sometimes reaching prices of $100 to $300 or more. The most valuable specimens, those in pristine, uncirculated condition, could see their price tag soar to thousands of dollars, with some having been sold at auction for $5,000 or even higher. So why does this coin hold such value? It's not just because of its design or its place in history, although those are certainly important factors. The 1934 Buffalo nickel has become one of those coins that collectors highly covet due to its relative scarcity, its timeless design, and the emotional connection it carries. As the United States shifted away from the Buffalo nickel and embraced new designs in the years following 1938, the coins from the Buffalo series became more significant and sought after. Collectors are not only after a piece of currency, they're after a piece of history, a link to a time when the country was going through one of its most difficult periods. For those who collect the 1934 Buffalo nickel, it's more than just an investment. It's a journey into the past. It's a coin that represents a nation's resilience in the face of adversity, a tribute to the Native American people and the bison that once roamed the land. It's a reminder of the Great Depression, the silver lining of the New Deal, and the way people from all walks of life came together to rebuild the nation. The 1934 nickel is a coin that tells a story of triumph over hardship, of art and culture, and of a nation that never gave up. It's a reminder that even the smallest pieces of our history can carry with them great meaning and significance, and for collectors, it's a treasure worth holding on to. Whether you're just beginning your numismatic journey or you're a seasoned collector, the 1934 Buffalo nickel is one coin that is sure to capture your imagination and your heart. It's more than just metal, it's a piece of America. Coin 3. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, its worn edges telling tales of a time long gone. It's the year 1935, and in the United States, the 5-cent coin, commonly known as the nickel, was about to become a key piece of American history. This particular coin, stamped with a D mint mark, holds a story that ties it directly to the era's economic, social, and political climate, all while representing an important chapter in the history of American currency. So, let's take a journey back in time and explore the 1935 United States 5-cent coin, its design, its minting process, and why it holds such significance for collectors today. In 1935, America was still in the midst of the Great Depression. It was a time when the country was struggling, and people were doing everything they could to make ends meet. Coinage played a vital role in the day-to-day lives of Americans, and the 5-cent coin, or the nickel, was no exception. The 1935 nickel was part of the series first issued in 1938, which was designed by the talented artist Felix Schlag. His vision for the coin was rooted in the desire to showcase symbols of American heritage, yet with a strong focus on practicality during such a difficult period in American history. But let's dive deeper into the details. The 1935 nickel, featuring the D mint mark, was produced at the Denver Mint. You'll find this mint mark located right under the date on the coin, signifying that it was struck at the Denver Mint, a facility that, since its founding in 1906, has played a pivotal role in minting coins for the United States. The Denver Mint was particularly important during the Great Depression, as it was crucial to the production of circulating coinage, and the 1935 nickel was no different. It was minted in large quantities to keep up with the demand for everyday currency. The coin itself features two primary elements: the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, the front, and a depiction of Jefferson's home, Monticello, on the reverse, the back. Thomas Jefferson, of course, was one of the founding fathers of the United States and the third president of the nation, whose legacy looms large in American history. His inclusion on the nickel wasn't just a tribute to his political legacy, but also to his connection to American ideals of liberty, democracy, and expansion. The reverse side of the coin showcases Monticello, Jefferson's beloved estate in Virginia, and a symbol of his vision for an agrarian republic. The image of Monticello was chosen as a tribute to Jefferson's love of architecture and his belief in the importance of education and knowledge. Monticello's depiction on the nickel served as a reminder to Americans of their nation's founding principles. It was not just a coin but a piece of history, holding within it the values of liberty, hard work, and the pursuit of the American dream. The 1935 nickel was made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, which was standard for the coin's composition at the time. The metals blend allowed for a durable coin that would stand the test of time, making it suitable for everyday circulation. Despite the economic troubles the country was facing, the nickel served as a symbol of resilience. It wasn't just a coin for paying for goods or services, it was a piece of a larger narrative, representing hope for a future recovery from the hardships of the Depression. When we consider the 1935 nickel today, it's important to look at its value, not just in monetary terms, but also in its appeal to collectors. For those involved in numismatics, the hobby of coin collecting, the 1935 nickel is highly sought after. The key feature collectors look for in this coin is its mint mark. As we've already mentioned, this particular nickel has the D mint mark, indicating that it was minted at the Denver Mint. Coins from different mints can vary slightly in their characteristics, making them unique and valuable. The D mint mark is especially prized because, in 1935, the Denver Mint was known for its high-quality production standards. Coins minted in Denver during that era are often in better condition than those produced in other locations, which only adds to the coin's allure among collectors. Over time, the 1935 nickel has become more than just a piece of currency. It's a tangible link to America's past. It's a symbol of the country's endurance through the Great Depression, a time when every penny counted and when each coin was a lifeline for individuals and families alike. The 1935 nickel represents more than just a financial transaction. It's a piece of history that tells a powerful story of resilience, change, and the promise of recovery. Collectors who are lucky enough to acquire an uncirculated 1935 nickel can find themselves holding a valuable piece of American history. But even for those with a well-worn coin, there's something uniquely special about owning a piece of the past. The value of the 1935 nickel can vary significantly depending on its condition, rarity, and whether it was struck at the Denver Mint or another location. Coins that have been preserved in excellent condition or have rare characteristics can command significant prices at auctions or in the private market. As of recent years, the 1935 nickel has been valued at anywhere from a few dollars for coins in less than ideal condition to hundreds of dollars for coins in near mint state. If you happen to stumble across a 1935 nickel in your pocket change, it might not be worth a fortune, but it still carries a piece of the story that defined an entire era. For those who want to dive deeper into the world of coin collecting, owning a 1935 nickel is more than just an investment. It's a way to connect with the past and keep a small part of history alive. In the end, the 1935 United States 5-cent coin, with its D mint mark, is a shining example of how coins can tell stories that go far beyond their face value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a history enthusiast, this coin offers a fascinating glimpse into a pivotal moment in American history. From its design to its minting and its place in the economic and social fabric of the time, the 1935 nickel continues to hold its place as a treasured artifact, both in the world of numismatics and in the hearts of those who appreciate the rich tapestry of American history. So, the next time you find yourself holding a 1935 nickel, take a moment to appreciate the history that lies within that small, seemingly ordinary coin. It may just be worth more than you think. Coin 4. Imagine yourself standing in front of a table, holding a coin that has passed through the hands of countless people over nearly a century. It's a coin that carries not only historical significance but also a story deeply intertwined with the spirit of the American frontier. We're talking about the 1936 Buffalo 5-cent coin, a piece of American history that has become iconic among numismatists and collectors alike. The coin you're holding isn't just any nickel, it's a symbol of America's past, its natural beauty, and its enduring legacy. In 1936, the United States was still in the aftermath of the Great Depression, a time that profoundly shaped the nation's economy, culture, and its people. But despite the economic struggles, the country was gradually pulling itself out of the dark days of the 1930s. And in the midst of this recovery, a coin that was beloved by many became an enduring symbol of America's spirit, the 1936 Buffalo nickel. The coin's design is deeply rooted in America's connection to its wild, untamed landscapes and its Native American heritage. The 1936 Buffalo nickel, like all Buffalo nickels, features a depiction of an American bison on the reverse side. This image was inspired by the buffalo herds that once roamed the American plains, a majestic sight that played a central role in the lives of Native American tribes. The buffalo was a creature of power and endurance, much like the American spirit itself. In an era marked by recovery and rebuilding, the buffalo came to symbolize the resilience of the American people. On the obverse side of the coin, we see a profile of a Native American, designed to represent the diverse Native American tribes who once inhabited the land. The portrait was carefully crafted by James O. Fraser, a well-known sculptor and artist, and it captures the stoic dignity of Native American leaders. It's often said that Fraser wanted to ensure the figure depicted a more universal representation of Native Americans, rather than a specific tribe, thus making it a broader tribute to their role in American history. What sets the 1936 Buffalo nickel apart is its mint mark, the letter D. This letter signifies that the coin was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities responsible for producing U.S. coins. The Denver Mint, established in 1906, has a long history of producing high-quality coins, and the 1936 Buffalo nickel was no exception. The D mint mark on the 1936 Buffalo nickel is a key feature for collectors, who know that coins minted at the Denver Mint often have slightly different characteristics from those produced at other mints. These differences, even if subtle, can add to the value and rarity of the coin. The 1936 Buffalo nickel, like its predecessors, was composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This unique blend of metals gives the coin its distinctive color and durability, making it ideal for circulation. Over the years, many of these coins have been passed down through generations, becoming well-worn and carrying the marks of time. But no matter how much wear and tear the coin may show, it still serves as a tangible link to a bygone era. Now, you might wonder, why does the 1936 Buffalo nickel hold such a special place in the world of coin collectors? Well, there are a few key reasons. First, the design itself has an undeniable appeal. The image of the buffalo and the Native American portrait are not only aesthetically striking, but they also carry deep symbolism. The buffalo was once nearly driven to extinction, a victim of overhunting and changing American landscapes. But it also symbolizes a period in American history where nature and civilization clashed, and where the nation's future was still being shaped. Collectors today appreciate the 1936 Buffalo nickel for its historical significance, its artistry, and its connection to the American frontier. And then, of course, there's the mint mark. The D mint mark holds particular appeal because of the quality control at the Denver Mint during that period. Coins struck in Denver are often praised for their sharpness and clarity, especially compared to those minted in Philadelphia or San Francisco. The 1936 Buffalo nickel with the D mint mark is highly valued by collectors who seek rare and well-preserved examples of American numismatic history. But the appeal of this coin goes beyond just its design and minting process. The 1936 Buffalo nickel stands as a representation of the challenges the United States faced during the Great Depression. For many Americans, a nickel was worth more than just 5 cents. It was a lifeline, a way to buy food, pay for transportation, or even keep the lights on. Coins like the Buffalo nickel were an essential part of the daily lives of people during this tough time, and they carry with them the weight of the hardships and resilience of the era. The value of the 1936 Buffalo nickel varies greatly depending on its condition, rarity, and how well it has been preserved over time. In general, coins in pristine or near-mint condition can be worth significantly more than those that have seen heavy circulation. A well-preserved 1936 Buffalo nickel with the D mint mark can fetch hundreds of dollars at auction, with uncirculated versions sometimes reaching even higher prices. But it's not just about the monetary value, it's about the story the coin tells. Every scratch, Every tiny imperfection on the coin's surface is a part of that coin's journey. Some may be tempted to dismiss a worn coin as just another piece of old currency, but for collectors, it's a reminder of the past, a small relic of a time when the world looked much different, yet still very much connected to the American ideals of perseverance and strength. For those interested in acquiring a 1936 Buffalo nickel, it's important to remember that condition is key. The most valuable examples are those that have been kept in excellent condition, free from excessive wear or damage. Coins that are uncirculated or nearly uncirculated are the holy grail for collectors, as they have retained their original detail and design, making them highly prized in the numismatic community. However, even a coin with wear and tear has its place, as it's still a piece of history and will always hold some value among enthusiasts. The 1936 Buffalo nickel isn't just a coin, it's a window into America's past. It's a piece of art, a reminder of the untamed frontier, and a token of the nation's resilience through tough times. Whether you're holding one of these coins in your collection or simply discovering it in a pocket change jar, the 1936 Buffalo nickel is a testament to the enduring power of history and the stories that coins can tell. From its iconic design to its role in American currency, it's a coin that will continue to captivate the hearts of collectors and history buffs alike. So, if you're lucky enough to find a 1936 Buffalo nickel with the D mint mark, take a moment to appreciate the history it holds. It's not just a nickel, it's a piece of a larger narrative, one that tells the story of the American spirit, the beauty of its landscapes, and the strength of its people during a pivotal moment in time. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or someone with a casual interest in numismatics, the 1936 Buffalo nickel is a coin worth holding on to, both for its value and for the stories it has to tell. Coin 5. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, a small, seemingly ordinary piece of currency, but one that carries with it the weight of history. It's the year 1937, and the United States is on the mend, slowly recovering from the hardships of the Great Depression. The Buffalo 5-cent coin, or the Buffalo nickel, had already been in circulation for over 2 decades, but in 1937, it still captivated the imagination of the American public. And if you've got a 1937 Buffalo nickel with a D mint mark, you hold a piece of numismatic history that combines the spirit of the American West with the resilience of a nation in recovery. The year 1937 was a time of cautious optimism for America. The Great Depression, which had crippled the economy throughout the 1930s, was slowly giving way to signs of improvement. The country was still struggling, but there were signs that recovery was on the horizon. It was in this atmosphere of rebuilding and hope that coins like the 1937 Buffalo nickel were created and circulated. The coin's design, its symbolism, and the very materials it was made from reflected the ideals and hardships of the time. The 1937 Buffalo nickel was part of the larger series designed by James O. Fraser, a celebrated artist and sculptor. His vision for the coin was nothing short of revolutionary. Fraser wanted to create a coin that was distinctly American, one that paid tribute to the country's past and its natural heritage. In designing the Buffalo nickel, Fraser turned to the image of the American bison, a creature that was central to the Native American experience and to the history of the American frontier. The buffalo was a symbol of strength, endurance, and survival, qualities that resonated deeply with a nation still grappling with the fallout of the Depression. On the obverse of the 1937 Buffalo nickel, you'll find a portrait of a Native American. The figure depicted isn't meant to represent any one particular tribe, but rather a more universal symbol of Native American peoples as a whole. Fraser's goal was to create a timeless and respectful tribute to the indigenous peoples of America. The portrait is both dignified and powerful, capturing the essence of Native American heritage. It's a beautiful, stoic face that speaks to the history of the land and the people who have always called it home. On the reverse side of the coin, we find the iconic image of the buffalo. Fraser's depiction of the buffalo, with its powerful stance and proud gaze, is a reminder of the wild, untamed landscapes that once covered much of America. The buffalo was a creature that had roamed freely across the plains in the hundreds of millions before being nearly driven to extinction by overhunting in the late 19th century. The buffalo's presence on the coin is a tribute to the great animals that once shaped the American frontier and to the country's connection to its natural world. But let's take a closer look at the 1937 Buffalo nickel with the D mint mark. The D stands for the Denver Mint, one of the key U.S. minting facilities responsible for producing coins during the 1930s. The Denver Mint, established in 1906, was particularly important during the Great Depression because it played a critical role in producing coins for circulation, which were needed to keep the economy moving. The 1937 Buffalo nickel with the D mint mark signifies that it was struck at this mint, which was known for its high-quality coin production. The minting process at the Denver Mint during the 1930s was highly efficient, and coins produced there were often regarded as being of better quality than those produced at other mints. The D mint mark found on the 1937 Buffalo nickel is especially significant to collectors. Coins from the Denver Mint have a reputation for having sharp details and high-quality strikes, which makes them highly sought after by numismatists. For collectors, the mint mark is an important feature because it can determine the coin's rarity and overall value. The 1937 Buffalo nickel, like many of its predecessors, was made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This combination of metals gave the coin its durability and distinctive appearance, making it perfect for daily use. However, even with its durability, these coins were still prone to wear and tear over time, which means that the condition of a 1937 Buffalo nickel can greatly affect its value. A coin that has been well preserved or is in near mint condition will often fetch a higher price than a heavily worn example, especially if the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1937 Buffalo nickel with the D mint mark so appealing to collectors. First, the coin is part of a series that has become one of the most beloved in American numismatics. The design itself is a work of art, capturing the essence of American history, nature, and culture. The Buffalo nickel was minted from 1913 to 1938, and it quickly became iconic, thanks in large part to Fraser's remarkable design. Collectors are drawn to the 1937 Buffalo nickel for several reasons. One key factor is its historical context. The coin was struck during a time when the United States was working to recover from the Great Depression. It symbolizes a nation in transition, moving from hardship toward recovery. For collectors, owning a 1937 Buffalo nickel is like holding a tangible piece of that history, a coin that represents both the challenges and the triumphs of an era. Another reason why the 1937 Buffalo nickel is so appealing is its relative rarity. While Buffalo nickels are not as rare as some other U.S. coins, the 1937 version, especially with the D mint mark, is highly coveted. The Denver Mint produced a significant number of these coins, but the passage of time and the wear and tear that comes with everyday circulation has led to fewer well-preserved examples. As a result, high-quality 1937 Buffalo nickels with the D mint mark are highly sought after by collectors and can command impressive prices at auctions. The value of the 1937 Buffalo nickel can vary depending on its condition. A coin in average circulation might only be worth a few dollars, but coins in excellent condition, those that have been carefully preserved and show minimal signs of wear, can be worth much more. For example, a 1937 Buffalo nickel in uncirculated or near mint condition could be worth anywhere from $50 to $200 or more, with prices climbing even higher if the coin has unique characteristics such as a well-struck detail or rare die varieties. For those lucky enough to own a 1937 Buffalo nickel, the coin serves as more than just a piece of currency. It's a window into America's past. Every scratch, every dent, and every flaw tells a story of its time in circulation, passing through the hands of everyday people during a turbulent period in history. It's a symbol of the American frontier, a tribute to Native American heritage, and a piece of a nation that has always found ways to persevere, no matter the obstacles. As you hold this coin in your hand, remember that it is more than just a relic of the past. The 1937 Buffalo nickel with the D mint mark is a tangible reminder of the strength and resilience of the American people during one of the most challenging periods in the nation's history. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone just starting to appreciate the world of coin collecting, The 1937 Buffalo nickel is a coin that speaks to the heart of what it means to be American. So, the next time you encounter a 1937 Buffalo nickel, take a moment to appreciate its story, its artistry, and its historical significance. It's not just a coin, it's a piece of American history, a piece of the land, and a piece of the enduring spirit that defines this great nation.